In a small town in Germany, a quiet boy grew up while adults whispered about him. He didn't speak as early as other children. He answered slowly. He stayed in his own world. Some people thought he was not smart. Some even assumed he would never do anything great. But inside his silence, something powerful was happening. He was not empty. He was full of questions. One day, someone showed him a simple compass. A small needle inside it kept pointing in one direction, no matter how many times he turned it. He shook it. He tried to confuse it. But the needle always came back, like an invisible force was guiding it. That moment stayed with him. He didn't just see a compass. He saw a mystery, and he decided, even as a child, that he would spend his life searching for the hidden rules of the universe. As he grew older, school became difficult, not because he couldn't learn, but because he hated learning without understanding. Teachers wanted students to memorize. Einstein wanted to know why. He questioned authority. He disliked strict discipline. And because he didn't behave like a normal student, some teachers treated him like a problem. There are reports that one teacher even told him he would never become anything in life. Imagine hearing that when you are young. Imagine carrying those words every day. But instead of breaking him, those moments pushed him away from the crowd. He started trusting his own thinking more than other people's opinions. Later, he moved to Switzerland and studied at a famous school in Zurich. He was intelligent, but he still didn't fit the usual student style. He focused more on ideas that fascinated him than on pleasing teachers. After graduation, he expected life to improve. But the next chapter surprised him. He could not get the academic job he wanted. He faced rejection and uncertainty. And finally, he took a job that seemed ordinary, working in a patent office in Bern. Most people would see that job as boring, but Einstein saw something else. Every day he reviewed inventions. He studied machines and technical designs, and without realizing it, the patent office trained his mind to think clearly, deeply, and logically. While the world saw a clerk, his mind was traveling through space and time. He began doing thought experiments. He imagined chasing a beam of light. He imagined time behaving differently for different people. He imagined the universe not as fixed and stable, but as something flexible, almost alive. Then came the year 1905. Einstein was only 26 years old, and in that 1 year, he published scientific papers that shocked the world. He explained why tiny particles move in strange ways, helping confirm that atoms are real. He explained the photoelectric effect, showing that light can behave like particles. And he introduced special relativity, an idea so strange that it sounded impossible at first. He said time is not the same for everyone. He said space is not exactly what we think it is. He said the faster you move, the more reality changes. And then came the equation that became one of the most famous in history. E equals mc squared. It meant mass and energy are connected. It meant even a small amount of matter could hold an enormous amount of energy inside it. Einstein became famous. Universities started inviting him. He became a respected professor and an international symbol of genius. But while his fame was growing, Europe was changing in a darker direction. Political hatred was rising, extremism was spreading. And because Einstein was Jewish, his life in Germany became dangerous. He was attacked with propaganda. His work was criticized for political reasons. The environment became unsafe. So Einstein left Germany and moved to the United States, where he worked at Princeton. But even in America, the world did not become peaceful. World War II began, and scientists feared that Nazi Germany could build a powerful new weapon first. Einstein was known as a man who wanted peace, but he also understood the danger. He was urged to warn the American government about the risk of nuclear weapons, so he signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, encouraging the United States to take the threat seriously. That decision became one of the most complicated parts of his legacy, because later, atomic bombs were built and used. Einstein did not create the bomb himself, but he felt the weight of what happened. After the war, he spoke more strongly for peace and warned the world about the dangers of nuclear weapons. In the final years of his life, he continued thinking. He continued searching for deeper truths. He tried to find one unified explanation for nature, one idea that could connect everything together. He never fully completed that dream, but his life left behind something bigger than a single discovery. A lesson. Einstein's story proves that being different is not a weakness. Being misunderstood does not mean you are failing, and moving slower than others does not mean you will never arrive. Sometimes, the person who doesn't fit the system is the person who will rewrite it. So if you ever feel behind, remember this. The world once looked at a quiet boy and thought he was nothing special, but that quiet boy grew up and changed the way humans understand the universe.